All right, cool. Yeah, go for it. I'm an open book.
So, Maddie, like I've noticed you for a long time now on the Zencleanz doing loads of interviews with people. I think actually I say that Brother Sage was the first one I noticed you coming up, and I thought, wow, this girl's really cool. I liked your vibe, like what you're doing with the Zencleanz. And then I remember I listened to it in full, I think a few times now, and you said you've done 40, 50, and you start getting passionate, and I started noticing you doing loads of videos, interviewing people. So I guess my question to you, and we talked a bit about this, like the Zencleanz has obviously done a lot to you. Did it wake you up? And yeah, where's the drive come from, Zencleanz, that you're going? I love it. Where's it come from?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say that the Zen cleanse like woke me up per se. I would say it woke me up in a different way than I thought was possible. I started my sort of awakening about a year before that, and that's when I had started sort of detoxing and doing all the other things, but really wasn't making any progress. So then when I found Zen cleanse, I was in the right place at the right time, in the right mindset that I was ready to let go of things that I didn't need. So that's where Zencleanz came in. And after the first rainbow cleanse, I was like, what is this? This is craziness. Like, this is super cool. I've never felt this good. This is how I'm supposed to feel when I start to get healthier. Oh, wow, I need more of this. And it was almost like my body was speaking to me. My soul was speaking to the journey that I was about to go on, that I needed to continue doing these things because this was going to lead me back to myself. This was going to lead me back to my health. It was less about like, I got to cleanse, I got to get this all out. It was more of, this is rejuvenating me and bringing me back home to myself because each cleanse I would do, I would feel more and more in tune with my organs, what I need to eat, what I don't need to eat, how I need to interact with people. And it allowed me to understand and feel what the untangling of dysregulation felt like for the first time. So it really gave me an opportunity to
When was that?
further awaken.
When did you start with this? Was it two? Because Zencleanz has been around for a while, it's just not known about. It's really picking up steam now. So when did you start these at the beginning?
I started my first rainbow cleanse was December of 2020.
Oh
And
wow.
then my second intestinal cleanse was February of 2021. And after the second one was, I was like, oh, I need to do these more regularly because I felt it in my system that like I need to do this more. I need to do this more. And it
Yeah.
was not even like a conscious thought. It was more of a, my body was telling me I need this. This is, I'm seeing the visual results of what's coming out of my system and how good I'm feeling for days, weeks after this. And it's said that with the liver cleanse, like you get longer and longer spans of feeling good, the more
Yeah.
clear your liver gets. So I was like, I'm determined. I want to feel better. And that's always been my motivation. That was the reason I found Zen Cleanse in the first place, is that I had this desire, this heart-centered desire that I wanted to heal. I wanted to find healing, whatever way it was possible. I tried so many other things, but I was like, okay, maybe this is it. I had this interesting feeling about it when I got on a call with Daniel. I was like, this is going to change my life. This is going to do
Right.
something totally
So
different.
Daniel
And
signed you up, just for the record. Daniel signed you up.
yeah, just by, I mean, honestly, I heard about it from somebody else on social media. I saw it in the back of one of his Instagram photos, and I was like kind of sneaking around, like looking at what it was, and that's when I found the website. I like scoured the whole website, read everything. So I would
Right.
say Daniel can sort of convinced me and allowed me to like see the living proof of like, whoa, this is possible. But I would say I convinced myself and I signed up myself because I was like, yep, this is, I'm going to trust my intuition. I'm going to go with this and I'm going to run with it, which is
Right.
exactly what I did.
And you literally did run with it because you're doing really well with it now. You're very passionate. You do so many Zooms with me and many other people. You're so busy. It seems like, yeah, it's a huge part of your life. Um, and so how many have you done officially? Like for how many to this date? Because I know it's always updating itself. You're always on them. Like, 'cause I see on the Telegram, you're on the rainbows then, are you now? Or just coming
I've
off one?
done, I've only done one rainbow, but I have done, including that one rainbow, I have done 17 liver cleanses and 11 intestinal cleanses.
Oh, really? I thought it was more than that. Okay, so seven, there's a lot of those still. So
Yeah.
17, like in the space of 2 years. So that would be like not many days in between, I assume. Like
No,
always.
I mean, there was a point where before I moved to Hawaii here, I was cleansing almost every 2 weeks because my body was like, go for it, do this. And Sometimes it takes me a couple of months and I do like 2 cleanses in a week. I'll do the intestinal and I'll do the liver, and then I won't do anything for another month. And I'll do an intestinal and I'll do a liver. I usually do them together, but there's times like recently I've just done liver back to back. Sorry, I think it's 19 livers. Sorry, I'm incorrect. 19 livers and 11 intestinals. 12
Oh my God.
intestinals. I'm like, I've lost count. I've done so many that I've like totally
It's-
lost count of how many I've actually done.
You will actually lose count at some point. It's like they're just numbers. You just
They're just
like
numbers, yeah. I've kept track of the liver, so 19 livers. They're it is increasing. It's probably gonna be another one this weekend.
that's
But
crazy. And do you get results with, do you see, I know obviously I'm aware that you feel completely different, rejuvenated, but this is Zencleanz definitely about physical things for people. Do you see physical things with the liver one, like the stones and all that?
oh
You
yeah,
examining it? You do?
definitely, definitely. So with the liver, the reason I've done so many is that the first almost 5, I didn't see anything. I saw like the gravelly chaff like stuff that most people see when they do their first liver cleanse, but I could feel there was way more in my system that needed to come out. So it took me 6 liver cleanses to even start seeing gallstones. And most people, without proper coaching and guidance, they'd be like, okay, I'm done. Like, that's not for me anymore. But I was like, I feel it. I know it's in there. I'm going to keep going. So I kept going. And around the 7th liver cleanse, I saw these like massive gallstones come out. And I was like, I knew it. I knew it. They were in there. They were in there. And since then, I've just been continuously getting more and more stones. And this last one, I got a ton of undigested fat that was in my liver. So fatty liver.
Right.
And it's just each one continues to increase. And I would say the biggest thing that I noticed physically is that my spine is straightening. I've had scoliosis for most of my life. And I was told I'd only need to have surgery to fix my scoliosis. And then I read Andreas Moritz's liver cleanse book, and he
Right.
talks about how the spine is influenced by the liver since the liver's on the right side. Once the liver starts getting larger, as it gets more toxic, it's going to push pressure on your lungs and compress CO2 in different pockets of your lungs. And you don't want CO2 in your lungs, you want it out. So then when the lungs start expanding, all the other organs have to move around to avoid being compressed and punctured. So then the spine, in order to fix that, moves. So ultimately, if you go to the root cause, it comes from the liver, stems from a place of severe toxicity. So each cleanse I've done, I've noticed my liver is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So I'm actually
So
able to have
isn't it? Like
functioning of my
most people have an enlarged liver, you're saying, suggesting. I do believe that. Like it's too big.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not necessarily that it's too big, that it just is overburdened and
Yeah.
it can take up more space than it needs to. Mine, I think, was way too large because my spine is the visual
Right.
representation of that. So each cleanse, my shoulders, I can now actually put my shoulders down on my back, and you can visually see the spine, the curve getting smaller and smaller each cleanse that I do, which is ultimately another stimulating factor for me to keep going and
Yeah.
keep cleansing and continuing. And that's why I've created a business around this. Like the programs that I offer are, they start with the enzymes, but they're way more than that. They're so much more than that. They really allow people to see what it's possible when they do one cleanse at a time, but focus on so many other factors that we don't talk about as much with Zencleanz. Like this is a compilation of all of the things that I've learned in the last almost 4 years of doing some like cleansing work. So I'm really able to take people way deeper than just enzymes, because enzymes are wonderful, but there's so many other things you can add to your regimen that make things super, super powerful. And having that coaching support that really allows people to dive deeper into understanding themselves and understanding the future that they're going for.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. I love it. Have you also tried, I'm sure you have, so I've not got around to yet, the enzymes, the daily ones. And I've heard good stories from Brother Sage, a few other people that swear by them. So what's your position on that? And do you recommend people do them after the Zen cleanses? Or like go straight to the dailies? Like, do you think they're powerful? Is what I'm saying. The
Oh
daily
yeah,
ones. Yeah.
absolutely. I think people can start wherever they feel is necessary. With the enzymes, it's not like any other type of cleansing where like you're not ready, you can't start with this. Like these enzymes are not like that. You can start wherever you feel is necessary. I often start my clients on the liquid enzymes. I start them for about a week on the ambrosia to sort of get their system ready for a larger intake of enzymes when they do the cleanses, and allows them to kind of understand how their bodies are feeling. It depends on like if you're trying to address something specific. Everything gets deeper after a cleanse. So if you think about it that way, starting with the liquid to sort of get your system understanding what an enzyme is and what it feels like within your system, then doing the cleanses, and then introducing some more, introducing the black vacuum, which is good for oil and fat in the intestinal tract and the liver. So it will pull stuff out of the intestines and out of the liver. So it can help dissolve gallstones and really works on that triglyceride balance and cholesterol balance in the whole body, which is really wonderful. The fiber crystals are kind of like an intestinal broom. You eat them at the end of the intestinal cleanse for that
Right.
reason. It's kind of like the little push, it's like pushing things through.
Cool.
So if you take them on the daily, especially if you go to bed, it's kind of like doing like a mini cleanse at night when you take the fiber crystals. And then the quantum particles are super, super potent digestive enzymes. So if you take them with
Interesting.
food,
Yeah.
it'll help you digest your food. If you're fasting, like with the rainbow cleanse, they get in really deep and act as an anti-inflammatory. So
Oh, no.
they're each different functions. So I wouldn't say that like one is more potent than the other. I think they all work together. So it's
Yeah.
just what your body is kind of asking for you. So for me, I lean towards the fiber crystals and the black vacuum because that's sort of the support that I need. And then I add in the liquid enzymes. I drink liquid enzymes daily because my body craves it. Sometimes I drink like several drinks in a day. Sometimes I have
Nice.
none. Like it really depends
Yeah.
on what my system is craving. And everyone's
I
different.
like it. Yeah, I like it. And also, isn't there a sleep one? Is there a sleep one? 28-day sleep thing for the Zencleanz?
Mm-mm, I don't think
Oh,
so.
well,
Not that I've
I got
heard of.
confused. Oh, I got confused. Someone bought something under me. There was a sleep thing. But yeah, that's amazing then. So the daily enzymes, they do specific things that are very useful to prime your the people that you coach before they go for the big guns. Although also I'm sure you'd also say that they're good to just to do as well because they can awaken you up to whatever. But there's more depth to it with the daily enzymes. So that's something I'm going to get around to. So that was my question for me. Selfishly, I'm going to get around to those enzymes. Yeah, it's really powerful.
Yeah,
So
they're
what would
really
you
good.
um so have you tried then because we did talk on the last one a little bit. You've tried the lungs, there's kidneys, and what's the other one? Lungs, kidneys, and lymph to come from Zencleanz.
I personally haven't tried those yet because they can't technically ship those out of Taiwan until the FDA is approved and the whole shipping customs thing is sort of set in stone. So I'm a newbie just like everyone else. No one's
Oh
tried it. I
right,
think
yeah.
Daniel would be the best person to interview about that because he's tried them. Like
Got you.
he could be a product tester. He's the CEO of the company. So I really am excited. That's gonna be one of my first purchases is all of the new cleanses when they come out.
Right, it's the five elements, isn't it? The five elements
Hmm.
of Chinese medicine. Like, is it air, fire, ether, space? Yeah, but it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, I'm excited. So the blood and lymph and the lung are coming out first, and then the kidney. I'm not sure. I
Right,
think the kidneys kind of probably be closer to February if I had to guess, but the blood, lymph, and the lung will come out relatively soon, which is really
right.
exciting. So I can't wait to
Yeah,
like
love it.
experiment
Yeah,
that myself and bring that to my clients and bring that to my business, and help people
definitely.
through that as well.
I
Because we have
think,
a lot of people smoking and vaping.
yeah. Right, exactly. The kidneys one's particularly is going to help you because I think that's rebalancing, isn't it? The kidneys and the ears. So I think with your spine thing, it's just there's an imbalance. We all live in imbalance, left and right brains. So I'm really interested in the kidneys one. I'm interested in all of them, but I know that my truth is I don't live inside my body. I don't think anyone does. So I'm wonky inside my body, and it's because my kidneys are fucked, like due to emotional trauma. So I'm wondering the experiments if I keep doing kidney ones, if I can actually experience balance, you know within the body. I think I can experience a lot of great things with that kidney one. Really excited for
Yeah.
it.
The kidney cleanse is less on the cleansing, it's more on the toning. So if you think about it, all the cleanses that you're doing, the intestinal and the liver, you're
Mhm.
going to the bathroom, you're peeing things out. And that's going through the kidneys in the first place. So you are actually having those high potent enzymes that you're drinking for functioning on the liver, but it's not just the liver, like it's getting in systemically. So it's getting into your bloodstream, it's getting into the fluids within your system. So then you are actually cleansing your kidneys through the other styles of cleansing. And then the kidney cleanse that's coming out is just to help refine the toning and the functioning of the kidneys versus like breaking down stones and breaking down things that are in calcification and things like that. That's what these other cleanses do. Constantly, I have clients coming to me who are like, I'm having pain, like going to the bathroom. Why am I having pain? And I'm like, because you're breaking down uric acid stones and you're breaking out kidney
Right.
stones because of the cleanse. Like, they're like, wow, I did an intestinal cleanse. Why am I feeling that when I go
Yeah.
pee? And it's like, because
Crazy.
it's cleansing
Yeah.
other areas of your system. So refining that ability for the kidneys to tone and be not misfiring and shooting cortisol where they don't need to shoot cortisol. It's like,
Yeah.
you can have that ability to sort of have that organ be refined. And that's what the whole point of the kidney cleanse is.
I like it. And of course, like you said, every organ's connected to every part of the body. So you have these experiences. What would you say is so it's physical too, but spiritually, what is Zencleanz, if you had to say, done for you spiritually and emotionally and mentally? Like, how has it changed how you see the world through being on doing so many Zencleanzes?
Ooh, I would say originally when I first started, it was bringing me back to myself. And now it's helping me see the vision of what I can do for other people. So it's really aligned me with the ability to sit with plant medicines. And I recently sat with 5-MeO-DMT back in May, which was a
Wow.
huge
Yeah.
catapult. And I think Matt Santa and I talked about this on an interview at one point,
Oh
that
yeah, my
I
brother. Yeah.
combined the
Oh,
feeling that I got
yeah.
after sitting with 5-MeO-DMT to how I felt after doing several of these cleanses. It allowed
Really?
me to feel
Yeah.
this sort of connectedness that I hadn't felt before. It's more about that connection of I'm able to connect with nature outside more. I'm able to connect with people. The feelings that I have, like the sensations, are way more potent. And it's allowed me to go deeper within myself, connect to my own psychic energy, which we all have, and really ripple that out into the world. So that's why when I ask people, like, what do you do to create a better self and a better world? It really stems from how this has changed me, how this is changing you individually and how it can then ripple out and help other people that are around you.
Yeah. So it's completely transformed your internal world. Because obviously physical is external and how we look but how we feel is the most important thing we do. And yeah, I concur. It's the most amazing thing. So thank you, Maddie, for answering my questions. I'm honored to be working with you on this amazing thing. And I've just never known anyone that does so many interviews like me, so passionate and driven to interview everybody, it seems, like little, small, big, whoever it is. So thank you for what you do. You just remind me of me and all the good things I see in myself, I see in you. So it's like really cool to see and keep doing what you're doing, keep spreading the word. And it's so much more than just money. Money's okay. Money is fine because you make it and you can do well with it, but it's about helping people and you've helped a lot of people. And I know you're going to help a lot more people in the future. So thanks.
Yeah, thank you. This is so beautiful. I really appreciate taking some time to chat with people and establishing that community, because this is really about community and connection and collaboration over competition. Like, I spent most of my life as a professional ballet dancer competing with other people, competing with myself, and competing with those around me. And you don't need to fight that much. You can really connect with other people and have that be a sense of feeling like, oh, I have community around me versus being like, oh, I have to fight against this other person. I have to get better than them. I have to do better than them. And we live in such a world that is that sort of like man eat man type of thing that we don't need. We need people to come together. And that's what I think what Zencleanz is really doing well, and allows
Yeah.
us to get better physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, but also come together. And I think
Yeah.
that tribal mentality is super, super huge.
Lastly, I think we should put the shout out to Daniel to have I did tell him offline, but like a world summit where everyone can meet. We can read, I mean, Telegram's great, don't get me wrong, but I like to meet everyone in the physical that's been transformed by the Zencleanz, and we can build a community of we just make a summit, or I don't know, we find a location every year and go and visit each other and have
I
fun.
think it's already in the works. I think it's already in
Is
the
it?
works.
Oh, that's
Hmm.
smart. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh,
All
yeah,
right.
definitely. Retreats of some sort or connection points in the physical is already in the works. I can say that for sure.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Okay. Do
Sweet.
you want to
All right.
stop? Yeah.